Hello and welcome to GBR. You find us today racing with the guys from the MRC in the GTTCC Season 20. This is the Elite Drivers Round 7 Race 1, nearly at the end of the season, one round to go after this one. As you can see, we are at St. Croix again. We've done, I think it was layout C, and now we are at layout B for this race. And after 15 minutes of qualifying, JRC put it on pole in the Citroen. In second place is Brucey, a very shiny Genesis. Genesis seems to be working well for him so far after last round as well. In third we have Raffo in the Citroen. In fourth place we have the Muffin Man in another Citroen. In fifth we have James in the Honda NSX. In sixth place we have Judge in the Renault. In seventh we have Midnight in the Silvia. In eighth place we have Bazza in the Citroen, and in ninth place we have Golden Brownie in the Porsche. That's your drivers for this race. So let's get back to the front and get these guys underway for half an hour around St. Croix. See how they get on down to turn 1. The lights are out and away they go. All seems to be fairly clean off the line. Brucey there getting up into first place up towards turn 1. They're falling out behind. But JRC's just going to look like he's going to slip in behind Brucey there. They go side by side down. There's some action at the back here. What's happened between James and who else? Golden Brownie comes in like a wrecking ball. Absolutely wipes out Midnight and James in turn 1. Golden Brownie is slowing down and letting them boys catch up, but that's going to be them three right way off to the back of the pack at the moment. See if they can come up to it, but JRC has got back ahead of Brucey round turn 3, and now they head down the hill towards the bridge. And we've got Raffo and Judge there, look like going side by side. Judge has moved up, looks like one spot from his qualifying position. Just got ahead of Muffin Man there, and Bazza started an 8th. He's worked up 2 places. I think that's from the guys behind having their little incident at turn 1. So as long as Bazza can keep up with these guys, but Judge is going on the defensive over the bridge of Muffin Man. Muffin Man runs it out wide. Oh, a little bit of a tap there from Bazza, squeezing him tight on the exit of that left-hander. But now Bazza up to 5th place. See if he can keep up with Judge as they get onto the back straight. Muffin Man hits the wall on the exit. Is that giving him damage? Yes, it has. That's going to slow him down now as they come down this back stretch. But JRC up at the front at the moment. And so we've got the pole, and he's now going to try and lead off from the front and see if he can break anyone behind him. He's bringing Brucey along nicely with him at the moment. A little bit of a gap between Brucey and Raffo there in 3rd place. Judge and Bazza there getting nice and close together. And Bazza will try and just sit behind through this little S's section at the end of the lap. It's a horrible bump midway through that corner, but Judges looks like he's going to defend. No, Bazza's going to have a look. No, he's not. He's going to tuck in behind as they come around the last corner. So Judge runs it out a bit wide on the grass. He's going to slow his drive down onto the start-finish straight. So Bazza pulls alongside as they're going down towards turn 1. Will Bazza make the move before they get to turn 1? He is on the inside. Bazza does slip through and gets past Judge, and away Bazza goes. Now will Judge be able to respond as they go round turn 2 up towards turn 3? Looks like Bazza's been able to pull a little bit of a gap, but Judge is late on the brakes. Did look like he's going to try and make a very late lunge, but has been able to just keep it ahead, has Buzzer. We'll jump back to see Muffin Man there, 6th. Midnight's got up and going again, so is Golden Brownie. Them two aren't too far apart. James there must have had an issue getting back on track. He's quite a bit behind the guys at the moment, but stick with it and you end up potentially getting another place or two depending if people do pit. It's unfortunate to have him just on lap 1 over half an hour race, but obviously we've got race 2 reverse grid, so he'll be able to hopefully redeem himself in that one. But JRC, as they come round over the bridge now, and they've gone around a long right hander onto the back straight. JRC now leads ahead of Brucey. These two have slightly broken away from Raffo, so it's like Brucey's using that slipstream from that Citroen to pull away. Raffo there pulling out, just trying to break that slipstream from Bazza behind, and I don't think Bazza's really that much close to even think about a move coming up to this right hander at the end of the back straight. And now they come up to the S's part, so is Raffo now looking in his mirrors more than he's looking forward of Bazza, who's on a charge. He started in 8th place, up to 4th now for Bazza, and he's not really dropped Judge too much. Obviously we all know that Renault isn't the fastest thing in a straight line, and there's quite a few long straights on this track. Muffin Man there just hanging on to the back of Judge, but Bazza's been able to get past Raffo. What's happened there between, like Raffo potentially must have hit the wall on the exit. Ooh, looks like he got a bit sideways coming in, and Bazza's then just slipped up the left hand side of Raffo as they come up to the start finish line. So that's Bazza up to 3rd place now, so Bazza on an absolute charge. Is he now going to try and catch up to the rear end of his teammate up ahead, Brucey, and then just try and go for that win? But obviously there's a good, how far is it, about 3 or so seconds between the two of them at the moment, but it looks like Raffo could be under threat here from Judge behind as they come up through turn 3, and now come down to the first S's of the track. It's kind of 2 S's on this one at the beginning and one near the end. Judge is just going to sit there behind at the moment. Renault being quite nimble through this part of the track. Raffo there looks like he's gone a bit deep. He's got onto the grass, that's going to allow Judge to get up past him and move cleanly through. So Judge up to 4th place now. Raffo had a scruffy half a lap there. He's lost 2 spaces just from 2 little mistakes. It shows you how close these guys race. Little mistakes like that and it cost you. We are only 6 minutes into the race, but still it's going to be hard to try and fight back for Raffo to get back past Judge and Bazza. Bazza seems to just have pulled a little bit more of a gap over Judge at the moment, but here comes Raffo now down the back straight through this little right hand kink. Here will Judge try and defend this as they're coming up to this right hander at the end of the straight, or will Raffo just sit behind? Looks like Raffo is just going to sit behind for this corner, but he's right tucked under that wing. And will he get a good drive with Raffo? No, he just can't get alongside Judge coming out of that little right hander as they come through the second S's with the little bump halfway through. Keeps it nicely on, and Muffin Man just running on the grass there as they come through that end of the S's. Raffo getting it all sorts of sideways again round that right hander last corner. It's just going to lose the getting the power down. It's going to allow Muffin Man to close that gap. Muffin Man's had a good lap there to catch up. It's gone the fastest of anyone, has Muffin Man. Gone a purple lap, 2:19.148. Raffo gone deep again. That's going to allow Muffin Man to drive up next side of him, but he will be on the outside for the next braking zone. But it looks like Muffin Man may have got this one already wrapped up before they get there. Raffo just slips in behind and thinks he'll try and get him back later on. So Muffin Man now up to 5th place He's now got Judge just there ahead of him to see how he can get past Judge and Bazza there. So he just pulled, how much did he pull? He pulled about 4 tenths at the last that round, all getting squirrely, coming onto the bridge. There is a little bump there, but Brucey in second place. He's still right behind JRC. So he's really using that slipstream well to keep with JRC. It looks like he's just trying to use JRC to put away and then take the fight to him just by himself and not have anyone else distract him to try and get into first place. A little tap on the inside wall there for Brucey. He has just dropped him half a second behind JRC. So what are these guys' lap times doing? Yeah, Brucey done 2:19s and 2 in a row. JRC a bit up and down with 6 tenths over a 2 minute lap or 2.5 minute lap. It's not too bad. So yeah, these two pulling away. Bruce Bazza there, Judge there, defending into the right hander. Muffin Man's got Raffo up the inside of him. Muffin Man's going to have the left hand, the inside line around his left hander, and gets back ahead and defends against Raffo. But Muffin Man going from the defensive onto the attack of that Renault in front of him as they come round to complete lap 4. But Muffin Man's just going to sit behind. Oh, Muffin Man's lost it. Was there a tap between Raffo and Muffin Man? Let's jump on board. I don't know if there was or not. No, he just hit the grass and ended up spinning it in front of Raffo. Unlucky for Raffo, he ended up just having to help Muffin round into the wall. Nowhere he could have gone there, but now that's going to allow, as you can hear, Midnight. He's kept on going and he's obviously closing that gap down to the guys in front of him. What was the lap time of 2:25? Obviously these guys are doing 2:20s, 2:21s. Midnight's doing a 2:20s as well, so catching, but very slowly it seems at the moment. It's quite a hard track to really catch up on. There's not many proper braking zones. Only about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 braking zones, maybe 6 actually, sorry, on this track. So not much time to be gained on this track through the braking, and obviously there's a lot of corners. Golden Brownie there in 8th place. He looked like he had a bad lap 3. James there looks like he, after that incident, the lap 1, got straight onto it. He was going purple in the first sector, which the purple lap is now held by JRC, 2:18.6. What was Muffin Man's? It was 2:19.1, so he's gone half a second quicker to JRC on the last lap round down, the purple lap, and has been able to just break that gap between him and Brucey for that fight for first. That's the tyre wear like. Brucey's a little bit more tyre wear than JRC at the moment, but that'll be the full drive of that Genesis. Just kicking in on the front tyres, especially that front left. It does take quite a bit of a pounding around this track. A lot of fast left right-handers, so all the weight on the left-hand side. Brucey going blue near the end of this lap, so he's hanging on to the coattails of JRC at the moment. Bazza there, what's his lap times compared? Just a touch off Brucey, so Brucey is just pulling away a tenth or 2 each lap, but his tyres are looking pretty fresh still. Raffo really not liking that last corner, getting it all sorts of sideways again as he comes through, but Judge there in 4th place does his best lap of the race. Nearly into the 2:19s, just half a tenth off. But we're nearly coming up to halfway, so about 13 laps. He's still got another 7 laps to see if he can try and push to get into the 2:19s. Raffo there, he's just set his fastest lap of the race as well. Muffin Man, he's dropped off from the back just from that accident he had a lap ago at the last corner. So he's now just got to put the loud pedal down. He's gone 1/10 purple in the first sector, so JRC's first sector must not have been the greatest, but obviously nailed the rest of the lap. Midnight there, he's in the 219s. What was Muffin a 220.5, so he gained about 8 tenths. Did Midnight last lap round, so he is slowly catching up to Muffin Man. You can see him just ahead. Let's jump on board. Where is he? There he is, just going really apex now. And as we come through this left-hander, will he see him as we go into this long right? I don't think he will. Oh, he will, just a little glimpse. That's all you'll need just to kind of know. I am still catching that guy in front, whoever it may be. Just as long as you see that gap closing down, you'll end up putting the pressure on him even from a couple of seconds back. Colin Brownie in 8th, James there in 9th, just gone his fastest lap of the race as well, for 19.7. But JRC at the front here, opening that gap up to Brucey now. I think Brucey's probably out of the slipstream from JRC, so Brucey's not going to have any help now to if anyone comes up, but he's still setting some pretty decent lap times. He's even set the same lap time from lap 2 and lap 5 to the hundredths of a second. Will he do it for a third time round? No, he won't. But only 3 tenths off, so pretty good consistent lap times there from Brucey. From lap 2 to lap 6. Bazza there, what was his lap time? He was 3 tenths off on that lap time round as well from Brucey, but his tyres are looking a little bit fresher still. Just there in 4th place, having a decent result in the Renault. We all know it's a decent car around the short twisty circuits, but anything that's got a long straight of quarter mile longer, it's going to start then struggling to keep up with the pace of the other cars. It just hasn't got the top end speed. But through the twisty sections like that bit there, it's just like a little go-kart. Raffo there in 5th place. Obviously struggled a little bit on that the last corner, but he's only 4 tenths quicker so far this lap time round, so he could be getting close to the 219s as well. It is possible, because others in Citroens have done 219s, so he's just getting a lap all together and putting it through when you get across the line. But Muffin Man there in 6th place, he's just dropped off from the back of Raffo, but looks like he is catching Raffo, sorry. He is catching, but I think he's gonna be bringing Midnight, who've done pretty much the same lap time last time round, so really struggling to catch up now. The looks of it, looks like he's probably burnt a bit more of that front left than he would like at the moment, but trying to just push to try and catch up to these guys up ahead. As you can see, it's like a little bit of a carrot dangling in front of him. Jordan Brownie there 8th, James in 9th, JRC. What's happened to JRC? He's lost quite a few seconds to Brucey. Where did that happen? Let's just have a little look. He's close to him there. Oh, JRC is actually behind Brucey, so what happened? Oh, we got a bit of a tank slapper coming into turn 3. So there's me waffling on about everyone else. Whilst they're all a bit spread out, JRC absolutely loses it coming into turn 3, and that will allow Brucey to get up into the lead. So I was thinking Brucey's going to be struggling to potentially defend if Bazza gets close to him. Brucey goes into the lead. So as they come across the bridge, for the 7th time, JRC right under Brucey's rear end, but pulls to the right hand side. Going to make it the long way round as they come over the bridge, but JRC's got that lead back from Brucey now. As then they come round to this long right hander. Brucey's got a nice kind of a sigh of relief that he's now got JRC's slipstream ahead, and can now try and pull that gap out a bit more to Bazza behind. What is the gap behind? We'll see. It is about 4 seconds from Brucey to Bazza at the moment. So, as I say, slowly been opening it up, but we'll jump back to where we were when I noticed JRC was just ahead of Brucey. So yeah, Brucey was, what was the lap time there from JRC? Into the 20s. Just from that one little mistake, he's lost about 2 seconds to Brucey. It looks like he's been able to get straight back on it and just put a little bit of a gap over Brucey at the moment. But Brucey's going to keep him honest, and it looks like Brucey's going to have a decent lap time. Even a little bit of a fight there with JRC the last lap. He's still only, well, his slowest lap of a 19.6, so really decent lap times there. Pulled another 4 temps over Bazza, so that gap increasing even more. Bazza pulled 2 temps over Judge. He has got into the 19s. Oh, getting it all sorts of sideways as he comes through the first S's and onto the bridge. That's going to not be the fastest way around there. It may be fun to be driving it, but yeah, definitely not the fastest way. 3 temps down through the second split for Raffo. What's Muffin Man? Muffin Man just lost a couple of temps the last lap round. Midnight gained 7 temps on Muffin Man ahead, so as I say, there's just a carrot on a string there for Muffin Man off, for Midnight, as the 10, or no, what have we got, 12 minutes left of the race to go. Golden's got a bit of damage on the front left there. Must have hit the ball probably coming onto the bridge. It's allowed James to really close that gap up to the back of Golden now. So will there be a fight for 8th place? Or will Golden just let James past? So James has been able to catch up. He has been going quicker, James. He's been in the 220s, 219s, and Golden's fastest is a 220.6, mainly in the 21s and 22s. James is now coming alongside. Golden just lets off the throttle, just lets James go past. You see, not much point fighting for that 8th place when you're not the greatest on the track. JRC, he has opened that gap up to Brucey again. Brucey, yeah, he's pulled 7 temps on that one lap alone. And Bazza, he caught 7 temps on Brucey. So here's Bazza's tyre wear now coming into effect, and is he going to be able to close that gap up to Brucey? What was Judge's? Judge's was a 220.3, so he's lost about a second over Bazza. Raffo was a temp slower, so he's pulled out a little bit over him. But Muffin Man seems to be slowly catching up to Raffo. And Midnight's doing the same thing, so are these 3 all going to be coming close to one another in the next 10 minutes for a battle for what will be 5th place at the end of this race, which for Midnight will probably be an absolute achievement, being about 10-15 seconds behind just after the first lap alone, to actually be in contention for some more points to move them up the championship table. But as everyone is all spread out, I will stay with JRC and I shall do a lap guide when he comes round the start finish straight. As there is not much action at the moment, but we'll see. We have 10 minutes to go and everyone seems at the back of this pack slowly catching up to one another. I don't want to kind of do a lap guide and miss all the action near the end, so I will jump on board with the spaceship and we'll jump on the roof and do a lap guide of Swink Boy. So we'll come down the start finish straight and with the ground sand on the left hand side. We'll get to about the 100 metre board and we'll put the anchors on, and we'll be dropping down to 4th gear in this car. So that is a 90-degree right. Open this corner up quite nicely. Stay to the left hand side and then chuck it in and keep to the right hand side now as we come through here, and then at the beginning of the curve just putting on the brakes and getting it in. There's a little bit of a undulation on the apex of that corner, and then that's where we went left on St. Croix C. But this time we go down to the right hand side and we come through the first part of the S's, just slowly easing down the speed as we come around, and we've got a horrible bump right there. You see it unsettles the car onto the bridge. You should recognise the bridge from St. Croix C as well, as we raced along here, but we raced along and then we turned right rather than turning left into a 90-degree corner here, just on that second to last chevron is where you hit the brakes, and then you get it over to the left hand side and into the long right hander. This is the one that will start killing the tyres later on in the race, just keeping it nicely pinned on the inside, and then open the corner up and onto the back straight. There you go, and then we've got this little right kink here about halfway down this straight, and layout A would go straight on there if we were on that track, but we turn right and then we go up to this right hander, and just at the beginning of them curves again onto the brakes. It's probably more than probably about 110 degrees that corner, and then we come into the second part of the S's, just flat out these S's until the last one where I end up lifting off just a little bit, just to, and JRC does as well, because there's a horrible bump you just saw. Just if you're full throttle, it will just unsettle the car, and then you get all the way to the left hand side in towards this 90-degree right, about the 100 board again on the brakes, and then power out. That is a lap at St. Croix. Thank you JRC for that. What was the lap time? 19.2, so 6 tenths off that time round. Goes you there for 20.1, Buzzer with a 20.0, Judge with a 21.1, so lost a second to Buzzer ahead. Refo has been caught by Muffin Man. Midnight is lurking in the background, so if any little bit of action between these two in the last couple of laps or so. I think we've got 3 laps. I don't think we'll get to lap 14, but who knows. So anything for the last 3 laps with these guys will let Midnight catch up to the back of him and then contend for that 5th spot. But what was the lap times? Yeah, Muffin Man caught up 10th that time round, but he caught up 6 tenths the lap before. Midnight was 6 tenths quicker, but he is burning through his tyres more. When Raffo's got about the same as Midnight, so it's only Muffin Man that's decent on tyre wear out of these 3 at the moment. But it just shows the driving style. They're both on racing softs, they're both in the Citroen, but Raffo's burnt up his tyre on the front left a lot more than Muffin Man has. And Muffin Man even has binned it as well, so would have blown the tyres off and burnt out a little bit more of them. But Muffin Man just easing them through them tyres now. We've got a good drive now onto the back straight. Will that slipstream come into effect now for Muffin Man? As they come towards the kink, he pulls out the slipstream. He is alongside. Raffo's going to have to go the long way round now and try and maybe do the old switcheroo, but looks like Raffo's just going to stick to the racing line as they come up to the right hand. The Muffin Man gets it all sorts of sideways as he comes round, so the slipstream may be carrying a bit too much speed and just struggle to get it slowed down. But Raffo now back up into 5th place. That's what I mean. These guys start fighting. That's just going to bring this man right here, Midnight, into the mix. He's probably only about 3/4 of a second behind now, so one more decent lap for Midnight and he will be up behind these guys. He will just start getting a little bit of slipstream. See him pull him just inside there, just get anything that you can to gain an advantage. What was the lap time? It was 2:20.8, and at Midnight done a 2:19.6, so 1.2 seconds gained just from a few little tussles between the two of them. But Raffo is still holding on to 5th place at the moment as they come now down towards the first S's. Muffin Man is looking feisty there behind Raffo. Which way will he go? Will he just stick behind as they come through? Yes, he will. It's quite hard to go sideways. Raffo looks like he's carried a bit too much speed. He's made it nice and tight for himself on the entry of that little right-hander. Muffin Man's got a good drive as they come along the bridge. Pulls to the left-hand side. And Midnight's just looking in the background, hoping that they'll end up going side by side around this corner, which will be the slowest way for these two to go around. But Muffin Man moves up into 5th place. Midnight now is near enough in on the action. Should be able to use the slipstream down the back straight and catch right up to the rear end of Raffo. As long as none of them hit the ball, I don't think they did. But will Raffo now have a look at Muffin Man ahead, or will he just sit behind? It looks like Raffo's just going to sit behind. He hasn't really gained much on the slipstream. They're doing about the same amount of speed, these two, but Midnight has been able to catch up massively using the slipstream of the two cars in front. Hasn't been able to make anything into that right-hander. So have a look at the track map, and nothing's really happening between anyone. It looks like Buzzer has caught up a little bit to Brucey on the track map, but not close enough to make any moves. But these three, looks like we're all heading on to the last lap now as they exit this corner. So it could be anyone's position for 5th place, as the cloud cover is coming in as well. Down towards turn 1 we go. Raffo there, not close enough. Midnight looks like he can really brake later than that Citroen in front of him. But just the Citroen seems to have the drive coming out of the corner to stop Midnight from making a move into the next one. There we are, there is Midnight. Let's have a look, see what you can see. You can see 5th place just up ahead of him. Tantalisingly close. He's been in 7th place pretty much from the first lap, and he's just not been able to gain any more positions, but he has now caught up to a fight. And Raffo's gone out wide. He's tapped the wall as Raffo as he's gone on to the bridge. He didn't get any damage from it. But that's Midnight up into 6th place now. Will Raffo try and respond and fight back on the left-hander here? No, but he does get a bit sideways, does Midnight. Raffo, oh, what's Raffo done? Raffo's absolutely binned it into the wall. But luckily he's got enough gap between him and James ahead that he should be able to get going again. And Muffin Man's gone as well. What's everyone doing? How did Muffin Man do that? Let's come on board. So Raffo there just behind has binned it. What happened with Muffin Man here? Did he just get on the power too early trying to get on? Yes, he did. And hit into the wall. It spun him across. And there goes Midnight. That's just what Midnight wanted. All that hard work to catch up to the back of them guys. And they just binned it straight. Well, one of them binned it just behind him. One of them binned it in front of him. But Muffin Man and Raffo now, they've got going again. Muffin Man's pulled over to the side just to try and break that draft from Raffo, but Raffo goes round the outside. He had better momentum. But we will go to the front now. Brucey is getting caught by Bazza, but I don't think it's close enough. But JRC pretty much led from start to finish. A couple of little incidents, but there he goes for the win at St. Croix. Brucey with a great finish. Started second, finishes second. Bazza not far behind his teammate from 8th place up to 3rd. Judged there. Pretty decent result for him in the Renault. In 4th place, Midnight All his Christmases came out once and finishes in 5th place. And bumps Judge just for luck at the end there. Muppin Man, he was able to hold off Raffo there at the end of the race to claim 6th place. Raffo will finish in 7th. James there kisses the wall for one last time. Will come across to finish in 8th place. Golden Brownie there in 9th place. If you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, maybe consider subscribing, and we've only got a couple of more races left of this season from the GTTCC, and then we'll be deciding who the champion for the elite division is. But to come across the line in 9th place will be Golden Brownie. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.